Alright, so here's the ensnare build. So obviously we have ensnare on. Only problem with putting on ensnare is it gets rid of her extra life passive, which makes sense. Just that absolutely sucks because that removes a decent amount of her survivability, which I put on rolling guard, which you can completely put on adaptation too. They all work the same, especially with her second passive that she has with status effect resistance. Both of those together are really good. I just prefer rolling guard, so that way I can either keep up the first or the second, even though you don't really need the not the second, the third, but you don't really need the third too often unless you are using some build right where you need the um, efficiency for heavy attacks. So like I said earlier, you would go in with your X, press the ensnare, shoot the glaive, and the first guy pops, and then they all pop. And you would have your third active during all of that with equilibrium. And your first for the more crit damage, and they're just dead. It's a very good nuke, in my opinion. So, molt augmented and molt efficiency. Molt efficiency for lengthens hunt, and I guess ensnare, even though it's really not that important. Or even shroud of, I can't pronounce that. But at the end of the day, you really don't need it to be lasting that long. And molt augmented just for the more damage with the feigns and more crit multiplier for her first. All in all, it's basically the same, even though we have cutting drift for more range. You can get rid of streamline if you really feel like it, and put on umbral intensify if you really want to, because you do have a decent amount of energy with equilibrium and flow, and that will increase your damage even more. With max molt augmented, that would bring you up to 296, I believe. But at the end of the day, it's all gonna work the same because the glaive is just a very good melee. I think that's the best it's ever shown right there. I didn't use my first though. Yeah, so that's how the build works. It's a build for it's a nuke build right now. I'll try to work on a survivability one soon. Probably not tonight though. I had to do this one tonight. But yeah, so just a quick rundown. You either go in with feigns or you ensnare someone first and then you go in with feigns. But if you go in with feigns first, you ensnare. And you should already have your third active. But after you use feigns, you use shroud, which is their first, and then you throw the glaive which basically kills them. And if you need a glaive build, just this should be fine. And I would much prefer, instead of using the Smita Cavicat, you use, what's the name? Panzerverbophyla. Just because on the Panzerverbophyla you can have more health orbs drop with synth fiber and synth deconstruct. But yeah, that's the Vora build. Not Voruna build.